Hello, everybody. I'm Bryce Chromey. This is my show. I hope to keep this going so we can have conversation, so I can give you my honest opinion about the issues affecting this country. There's some things I want to discuss today that this congressman from Pennsylvania, Scott Perry, said that the military wing of the KKK is the military wing of the Democratic Party, which is not exactly true. It really sounds incorrect. It sounds like he's playing a game or something. You know, it really sounds like he's trying to be Trump. Trumpy. I don't know. I think it's Trump it is. He's known for saying one of this, but I want to deep into this now. I want to share my screen with you so I can show you what he said. Now, this came from CNN. Wait for it to pop up. GOP Representative Scott Perry of Pennsylvania said in a closed door briefing with lawmakers this past Tuesday that the KKK is a military wing of the Democrat Party and that migrants coming to America have no interest in being Americans, according to the audio of Perry's comments shared with CNN. Now, Perry is a right-wing Republican who's repeated elements of anti-immigrant and anti-Semitic replacement theory before. He said this during a House Oversight Committee member briefing entitled The Origins and Implications of Rising Anti-Semitism in Higher Education. Now, this comes ahead it says here, over oversight panel hearings this past Wednesday about the DC's response to the pro-Palestinian protests and encampments current on college campuses in the city. The hearing was canceled that morning after the police department in D.C. cleared out pro-Palestinian encampment on George Washington University campus that morning, arrested 30 protesters and 3 others in a separate altercation, Metro Police Chief Pamela A. Smith said. Now, he said, according to the recording, that the KKK in modern times allowed young people to think somehow it's a right-wing organization when it is a military wing of the Democratic Party, decidedly unabashedly racist and anti-Semitic. But the KKK is not anyway affiliated with the modern Democratic Party. Now, he is saying that he did defend the replacement theory, which is the idea that white people are being slowly and intentionally replaced by minorities and immigrants. He said, according to the recording shared with CNN, I hope they release it, but I hope they do. That the replacement theory is real, and they added white to stop everybody from talking about it. While Perry said he's happy to accept people that are here legally, but pointing to his ancestors who migrated to the U.S., well, is he happy with his family coming here? I don't understand. He had an issue with migrants that are un-American. Well, how can someone be un-American if they're coming here to be American? That doesn't make sense. The question is, what migrants are un-American? He needs to answer that question. Now, according to the recording, here's what he said. What is happening now is we're importing people into the country that want to be in America, but have no interest in being Americans. That is very different. And to spirits of comments is to chill the conversation so that we continue to bring in more people that we never met that are un-American. He also claimed his words were twisted with presenting closed-door remarks. Once again, the radical left twists his facts in order to silence conversation about his own crimes and Biden's intentional failures to enforce laws or close or regulate our borders. The point is proven yet. When the left loses an argument, it debases and smears instead of engaging in debate on merits. Okay, let's engage on merits. Let's debate on merits. What merit is for you to say that the KKK is a militant wing of the Democratic Party when it's not? It's his opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion, but it doesn't really make much sense. It may be his opinion, but it's not the God's honest truth. And this really sounds like he's trying to get more clicks and views from Fox News, from that audience. But he ain't going to get it from me. I can tell you that much. Now, I'll repeat this again. Once again, the radical left. And I don't know why they keep saying the radical left. If you're going to say the radical left, then I'm going to say the extremist right. When they say radical left, start saying extremist right, because they are the extremists. If the left's radical, and that's fine, I can accept that as it is, then the right is extreme. They seem to be very extreme. The alt-right, the far right, the one percenters, the oath keepers. Let's say, I can't remember another one, but the Proud Boys. Again, drop some comments down there. Some groups that are also right-wing, pretty anti-Semitic, racist, bigotry, and xenophobic down here. Twist facts. Now, I don't know how we're twisting this fact. I'm on the left, and I'm telling you, I'm not twisting this. And this is what you said. The KKK is a militant wing of the Democratic Party. And then you said that migrants, we rely on people that are un-American. Well, how is someone coming to the country un-American? Again, that's the question I think they should be asking them. How are migrants un-American? So I don't understand that. But again, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it, that he is trying to generate views and clicks for Fox News. He is trying to be in Donald Trump's good graces with this kind of talk, this kind of statements, these kind of alternate facts, just fake news. This is fake news. The KKK historically has been associated with the Democratic Party, but majority of Republicans are now, majority of the Klansmen are with Republicans now. David Duke ran for state senate. As a Republican against a Democrat because he peeled on the issues. Hell, he even ran for Senate, it says here. Let's see. I'm going to share this with you guys also. He said that in 2016. Yep. This is a former KKK leader, David Duke, that he's saying that Congressman Perry is saying that is part of the militant wing of the Democratic Party. Now, last time I checked, there is no white nationalists in the Democratic Party. You can argue there may be still some communists there, but there is no white nationalists. That's a little bit untrue. But here's what he's saying. The KKK leader, David Duke, is calling Donald Trump's electoral victory one of the most exciting nights of my life. He wrote, "Make no mistake, our people have played a huge role in electing Trump." Again, make no mistake about it, our people have played a huge role in electing Trump. Now, this is a man who tried to run for governor, state senate, as a Republican by peeling on issues like, what was it? Immigration, affirmative action, abortion, low taxes. Because it seems that racist people and white nationalists love low taxes, not against affirmative action, of course. It fits in their repertoire, I guess. And against abortion, so white people can have more babies and be the dominant force in the population. If you look at the numbers of the census. This is a man here who's once part of the KKK, and everyone else in the Republican Party denounce him. It's, so invigorating that these people would try to let's see here. He also endorses Trump for president again. And Tucker Carlson for VP in 2020. It seems a lot more races are Republicans because of Trump. So I think Congressman Perry should actually check his history, check his facts before saying a statement involved in his opinion. The former KKK leader endorses Trump for president again and Tucker Carlson for VP. Perhaps the U.S., America's most renowned racial extremist, has long supported what he sees as the president's white national agenda. They're emboldened by him because he can say the most heinous things about immigrants, which are not true. He can say the most heinous things about things that majority of working class white folks are not liking. That you can just say, you can embolden those folks to say the most hateful, ignorant things in the world. I'm not surprised by Congressman Perry's questions. And I'm not surprised by what he says. But these are the people who still want to be in Congress. These are the people who are in Congress. If you guys live, some of you are watching this who live in Pennsylvania, maybe most likely to get rid of this guy. It's ridiculous that someone in positions of power say things like this. And also, Congressman Perry does not know that Republicans emboldened the Southern strategy since Barry Goldwater of 1964, when he ran for president against the Civil Rights Act of '64, that President Johnson signed into law. Congressman Perry does not know that. He does not care about that. But he wants to say that the KKK is a militant wing of the Democratic Party, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Historically, the KKK has been with the Democratic Party in history, but not now. And then it actually brings me now into my second point I want to bring up. Does the Republican Party need a hard reset? And I want you all in the comments to say yes or no and tell me why. I'm going to give you why I think that Republicans need a hard reset. It is because I think and I feel that they're going down a bad road. They're not about conservatism anymore. They're more about new conservatism 2.0 is like what I want to call it. Let's just call it that. Banning books, telling people who they can marry, using the federal government to do that when it's not conservative at all. I thought it was conservative, stressing the importance of local control, talking about limited government. You're going to use the federal government for a legal abortion ban. That's not conservative. That might be new right-wingism. That might be new rightist ideology or new platform for right-wingers to do, if so have you, and so be it. But that's not conservative. That sounds like fascism, neo-fascism, absolutely. New neo-American nationalism. Excuse me. But it's not that. It's not conservatism. It seems that the Republican Party keeps listening to evangelicals who are now emboldening this kind of ideologies, banning books because it makes them feel uncomfortable learning the history about America. That this country was built on slavery. That this country was built on Native American genocide. That this country was built on the treatment and harm. This country was built on the Chinese Exclusion Act and the treatment of Asian American immigrants in this country today. This country was built on the crimes that we saw during COVID against Asian Americans when the former president of the United States, Mr. Sexual Assaulter, that's what we'll call him, Mr. Pedophile, Donald John Trump, said it was Kung Flu. And when he said it was a China virus, that it's just because it came from China. Because white folks in America seem now to figure out and assume that all Asian folks look alike, right? Which they don't. So, but it goes to the next point I want to talk about is that I feel that they're listening to evangelicals who are not about the good book, but they're more about power. They're more about controlling and making this country more Christian and not secular when it should be, when there is separation of church and state. It seems that these people are very hypocritical when they say one thing but do another, particularly at Graham University, run by, or Falwell University, yeah. That's the one I want to bring up. Is that supporting this kind of nonsensical things. Listening to these evangelicals who preach about being ethical but not doing it themselves. Preach about loving your neighbor, that we're all God's children, but not practicing that yourselves. Not basically keeping that Sunday school lesson around for as long as we humans continue to be evolving. That we're all God's children, that the good Lord made us in all colors, shapes, and sizes. It does not matter what we look like. It matters what we put in and how much we're worth. I think the Republican Party needs a hard reset. Stop listening to these people. Stop listening to these people who hate gay people, who don't want gay folks and LGBTQ IA plus people to be who they are, or have separate bathrooms, or allow them to get married. When they are preaching that we're all God's children, well, those folks are God's children too. Last time I checked, they were. So why are you saying that they can't have their rights when it's protected under the Civil Rights Act of 1964 against sex or other discrimination you want to put it under? That really. And then the Republican Party needs to start having more moderates, more liberal Republicans like Nelson Rockefeller, William Scranton, who challenged Barry Goldwater in that 1964 Republican National Convention, Lowell Weicker, who was for abortion and gay marriage, who was fiscally conservative, more moderate, but when it came to social issues, he was more liberal to progressive. Susan Collins is not a liberal Republican, nor is Mitt Romney. I think they sold out that. That liberal Republican does not exist anymore, but now it should be. There needs to be progressive Republicans who are progressive, who agree on the new Green New Deal, who agree that we need a minimum wage and we need to take care of our climate. Republicans who say that, what my party is doing is wrong when it comes to restricting voting rights, that we that we should not be restricting people to vote because they don't simply have a voter ID. Then maybe we should make it easier for everyone to vote. Republicans shouldn't be scared about that. Conservatives should not be scared. Right-wingers should not be scared of that. Actually, they can win if everyone else votes. But they're so stupid not to see that. They need a hard reset. They need to go back to square one. It's time to stop listening to Donald Trump, stop listening to his cronies, stop listening to people who sell out to him, who kiss his ass, stop listening to people like Chris Christie, who worked for the man, kissed his ass, got played by him because he got sick and COVID. Then Trump punked him, played him. Now he's pissed off because Trump did that to him. When he should have said that, when he should have saw that right then and there in 2016, is not endorse this man. Because now you're aiding and abetting the beast that you seek to hate, that you seek is to say that's wrong in politics. The Republican Party needs that hard reset. They need to maybe have folks like Liz Cheney. You can disagree with her all you want. But when it comes to this democracy, she's spot on. As a progressive and a liberal like me, as a lefty, I can tell you she's spot on. She's wrong on some issues, but that is what it is. I can have a disagreement with her respectfully and with some civility. That should be important. Now, there's also another point I want to bring up is that why are Democrats coward? Why they're not taking this fight to Republicans? Why are they not pushing to have a George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? Why are they not bringing this fight to them? Why are they not pushing for $15 an hour minimum wage, or a range of minimum wage from $15 to $17 an hour? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not having that? Why do they keep listening to moderates and centrists who are indecisive and don't seem to pick and choose an issue? You know, what needs to change with them? Honestly, what needs to change with them, and this is my honest opinion, you can all disagree with me if you want. But I feel that they want to play nice. You can't play nice with people who believe that you guys are devil worshippers, pedophiles, now you eat babies and children. There's some Republicans who do believe that. Honest to God, they do. There's some who do. Not all, there's some who do. You have to stop bringing a knife to a gunfight. Start bringing a gun or AK-47 into that motherfucker. Honestly, God, you need to do that. Push President Biden to most likely, because now President Benjamin Netanyahu now is saying, and this is why, let me share my screen. This is my first time doing this, so forgive me. Who's now said that he's now going to now start Rafah offensive when President Biden, and I'm glad he said this. He says he's moving forward with Rafah offensive. I'm gonna play this video and see what you all have to say about it.
Guys, if you're looking to go back to school May 31st, they have over 125 online degrees and certificates, and you'll pay $0.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing to move forward with support of the United States. Netanyahu declared that his hardline stance is a result of growing concerns for how the bombs could be used in Gaza's most densely populated city. Earlier on the stream, we spoke with the director of UNRWA Gaza, Scott Anderson, who is in Rafah. Anne-Marie Green asked him what he wants people to know about the situation there.
Innocent people are suffering. Most people are very much the same all over the world. They just want a better life for themselves, for their children, and to have a future. And what you see now is people that do not have a future. It'll take decades to rebuild Gaza, to give people an opportunity to try to have a better life for themselves, for their families, and that this war is having a real impact on people, on their ability to survive, on their ability to take care of their families, and on their ability to take care of their children.
CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio is following these developments from Tel Aviv. Ramy, Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will go in alone if it needs to. Can it sustain the war effort without U.S. support?
Yeah, Elaine, good to see you. That is what the Israel Defense Forces is saying. The spokesman for the military, Daniel Hagari, said, "We have what we need," that's a quote, in terms of ammunition for the Rafah operation, as well as for future planned operations. And today we did hear more defiance from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That came in an interview with Dr. Phil, the TV talk show host, who did a sit down with him here in Jerusalem. Legally, this. Just
Guys, yeah. Why the U.S. would vote against that resolution to bid new rights to Palestinians when their rights are being stripped away from the Israeli occupied government there. This is why the United States should not have relations with Israel at this moment in time until they can clean their act. President Biden just threatened him, who will cut off your aid if you invade Rafah. But now he's going to do it anyway. So now he needs to stop being a sucker for policy and just now say we're done. This is ridiculous. It seems that you're hell-bent on hating Palestinians. You're not protecting your own country. You're hell-bent on creating a genocide. So I don't know what Netanyahu is, or what he's trying to do. It seems that he's trying really hard to wipe them out completely because he has an unabashed, unapologetic hatred for them. To me, he should be working with the Palestinians who are against Hamas to end this conflict, but he's not doing it. This is really irritating. This goes to my next point. President Biden is a sucker for tradition. To hell with tradition right now. It's best you just right now cut off the military aid to Israel and aid the Palestinians. Just aid the Palestinian people. Now give them weapons, give them food, give them humanitarian aid. Not no weapons. No weapons. Let them duke it out for themselves. The United States doesn't need to solve their problems. We got enough problems here at home. I want you all in the comments to drop why he's a sucker for that. Why he is. I also did break down that Israel-Hamas conflict, but I also want to hear from, on this show, I want to hear from people. I want to have conversation and dialogue with you all who are watching this. I want to hear from Democrats who are done with Biden. I want to hear from Republicans who are done with Trump. I want to hear from Republicans who plan on voting for Biden. I want to hear from Democrats who plan on voting for Trump in this election. I want to hear from independents. I want to hear from people who are not going to vote because their vote doesn't matter at all. I want to hear from you. And again, drop that like button, share this, subscribe, so we can keep this going. And I'm going to have more people on the show. I'm going to start having Daryl Davis. I'm going to tell him on the next show about who he is. I'm going to see if I can get David Packman, Tim Wise. I'm going to see if I can try to get a lot of people. Clay Kane, who wrote a book called The Grift, about Black Republicans who are now grifting. I want to try to get him on the show. And I'm going to see if we can try to keep this going. Carl Douglas, I want to get him on the show, who defended OJ. He now just passed away recently, last month, from prostate cancer. I want to give you guys, I want to give you my thoughts on what happened on that case, but I also want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to engage in a discussion, exchange ideas. Let's talk willingly, with some civility. Let's just start doing that. But right now I'm getting a little tired. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway else. It must be evening. I want to say good night. It must be night anywhere. If you're watching us, good morning. Hope you have a nice day. And love and peace with all of you. Thank you for your time.